agents at? All right. You notice I'm the only real estate agent on the roster, so I might need backup after we talk to these loan officers today. So I want you guys to agree right now to lock in. We're gonna do 1, 2, 3. We're gonna say lock in. 1, 2, 3. Lock in. All right. I came out to DJ Cali. All I want to do is win. But the first thing I want to tell you is I haven't always won. And the second thing I want to tell you is that when I did win, it was because I had to survive. And what I learned about winning is you can never win by yourself. You have to win as a team. So today, I'm going to talk to all of the loan officers and mortgage brokers out here about building the best strategic partnership blueprint where you stop selling your rates and you start building revenue with real estate agents. How many of you guys like to win? Say win! Win! All right. So before I get started, I'm going to tell you a little about my story. That's me. I was skinnier with blonde hair back in the day. And that's my son. I was a dance theater major. I thought I was going to be a performer. I tap danced in professional companies. And I lost my college scholarship my sophomore year because I got pregnant with my son, Jalen. So that's me in a college shirt at Illinois State University holding him. I was lost. I was broken. I had no idea what I was going to do. I switched my degree to criminal justice. And I was a juvenile rehabilitation counselor and a criminal justice probation officer for a few years. That gentleman at the bottom is my father. He was a drug addict, an alcoholic, and a convicted felon. And thank God for real estate because it gave both of us a second chance. Century 21 in the 80s didn't do background checks. Praise God for that. Because Jeff got a mustard seed jacket and went to work. And so what we realized at that time was that he could do things that he never thought he could do. But what he's realized over time is now he's been sober 38 years. Although he missed several cheerleading games, homecoming games, major parts of my life, I got to spend the best 10 years of my life with my dad. So when Jalen was 5, he's like, hey, are you done making $9.94 an hour? Yeah. And he said to me what I said to you today, you gonna lock in? I said, yeah. So those are some of the buildings that I built with my father. And I got into the real estate game. He always told me, number one, even though you're my daughter, you're replaceable. And number two, you're gonna be always underpaid and overworked. And I was like, all right, this sucks, but I guess I'll participate. So what I did was I learned the real estate game, but I learned on the commercial side. And the one thing I learned was how to become fascinated with finance. Because those buildings wouldn't be standing there unless we found the funds to do the deals. And so mortgage brokers, bankers, all these people became my best friend. So then there was another little plot twist in my story. In 2015, I thought I was good. I was 10 years in, learned from one of the best in the business, and went through a divorce and moved to Tampa, Florida. Studied the real estate market. Let's go, Tampa! Okay. Moved to Tampa, Florida, and thought that I was going to be a badass, a big shot. I got 10 years. I've done multi-million-dollar deals. I got to Tampa, Florida, and my first year doing retail real estate, I didn't sell one damn house. And you know what I realized? Is that I didn't have a freaking team. I didn't have my lenders. I didn't have my insurance reps. I didn't have the mayor's number on speed dial when I wanted to connect that building to the parking garage. So after I built teams, did massive amounts of real estate transactions, figured I went through about 17 lenders, by the way. Like, y'all definitely would have liked me because I was just weeding them out fast. So then I realized, okay, cool, this is great, but how do I take this like national across the country? So I built what I think is the best real estate coaching platform in the country. Because not only do we coach real estate agents, but we coach loan officers and we coach them together to learn how to become strategic partners. And so today I want to talk to you about this blueprint. Everybody's locked in. At the end of my presentation, there's going to be a QR code. You can feel free to take as many pictures as you want, but you will get the full slide deck sent to you at the end. Does that sound good? All right. I want to be really honest with you, loan officers. Agents do not choose you or care about your rates, your service, or your availability. Nobody pats me on the back for going to work. That is not value, that is expected. Agents care about one thing, growth. They care about more closings, more leads, more consistency, and less stress, period. And there's a big misconception. I'm not saying you buy them leads. I actually discourage that. I encourage you to create a growth plan together where you can generate leads organically. And today, I want you to never think like a loan officer or lender ever again. I want you to start thinking like a strategic growth partner. And this is the model that's going to change everything for you in your business. It's one framework, 3 moves, and a total transformation. The first step is attract. We're going to look at the current book of business that you have working with agent partners, and we're going to evaluate that. And then we're going to walk through the diagnose before you prescribe method of working with new real estate agents. And then we're going to step into phase 2 of impact. Building value around their business, not what you think your value proposition is. And then we're going to elevate them. We're going to make every single loan officer in this room the hero that changed a real estate agent's life. I meet with so many loan officers in the beginning of our coaching program that never evaluate their book of business on a monthly basis, and I don't get it. How do you ever make change or adapt or not be the person practicing insanity, expecting a different result, doing the same behavior when you don't track anything in your business? So this is our agent scorecard that we use. And this is what I want you to take a look at. Cold is red, yellow is active, and green is core partner. And I want you to think about who are the no real relationship agents. Deprioritize or decide if you're going to re-engage them. Who are the people you're currently working with that send you some deals, inconsistent, maybe you should nurture them, but you really need to get a better value plan for? And who are the core partners? Who are your strategic agent partners that you should be co-marketing with aggressively? And then reflect on that. Who am I over-investing in? Who should I double down on? And which 3 agents can change my business? You should be using Redder and MMI to evaluate each agent, finding other agent partnerships that you could plug into. Stop looking for new agents and plug into the book of business you already have. Who does that agent know? Who are their referral partners in their ecosystem? And which agents in their brokerage or teams have you not met yet? And also, who are your competitors? If you're working with John Doe and they did 6 deals last year and you got 3, that's a problem. Where'd the other 3 go? Was it a retail lender? Was it their friend? Figure out why and go after those missed opportunities. New ways to convert. When they introduce you to a new agent or they introduce you to your ecosystem, I put some questions on here, but you need to ask for that introduction after the closing. Map out that referral web and plug into that ecosystem. Every single person they're working with in their business. Co-host and co-market. Love the last speaker. Social media. Nobody cares about your Canva graphic with the sign that says just sold. You and that loan officer should be telling the story. Whose credit did we increase? Who did we get into a home that never thought they could buy one? Nobody wants to see the graphic, they want to hear the story. And always turn 1 deal into 3. Plug in with that listing agent, plug in with that title company. You should be married to everybody in that transaction because the best loan officers out there work smarter, not harder. And do you know how many unproductive coffees and lunch dates I've had with loan officers? Too many to count. How many agents have had unproductive meetings with loan officers? Yeah, it's bad, man, because you gotta think like a doctor. How do you know what I need in my business and you know nothing about it? When you walk in the doctor's office, they do not hand you a prescription before they take their vitals. Yes or no? No. So I want you to diagnose before you prescribe. I want you to ask agents questions before you ever pitch your products, your company, or anything that you do for a living. What does that agent want? Where are they stuck? Where are they losing deals? And what are their goals for the year? And this is a partnership tracker. You'll get a copy of this slide deck. You can take it back to your desk and implement this in your business. Write down the agent's information. What are their struggles? What's the value to them? And what is your action plan? And everybody said in the beginning they like to win. But if you want to win bigger agents, you got to ask better questions. So I literally have typed these out for you. What does your next level look like? Where are you losing opportunities right now? What's the inconsistent part of your business? And if you had 10 more deals, where would they come from? And now I want to ask you one question. Have you ever walked into the bathroom, stood in front of the mirror, and said to yourself, how does an agent's business change after working with me for 90 days? If you've never asked that question, then you're replaceable. Because I know as a coach, as a trainer, as a leader, as a mentor, exactly how I'm going to change someone's life once I enter it. Build value around their business. Your value is solving their problems, Not your programs, not your features, their growth. So this is where you shift from being a vendor to a strategic partner. And I want you to practice really hard active listening skills because agents and loan officers don't listen very well. We also can't read very well either. Following directions isn't a prime skill of ours, right? We're salespeople, we're face-to-face relationship people. So here's some questions as well that identify their biggest problems. What does your pipeline look like right now and where are deals falling apart? One of my favorites is, if you could change one thing about your business in the next 90 days, what would that be? That identifies the urgent priority. Another trick that is not in my slide deck is if I was meeting with Betsy Tinervin as an agent, I would go into ChatGPT and say, I'm John Doe with ABC Mortgage. I'm meeting with Betsy Tinervin. She's done 50 deals, 20 buy side and 30 listing side. What are the questions I should ask Betsy to understand how I can make her better? And then there's a couple things on here, but basically you become the partner that they never knew they needed when you ask these questions. Now you're thinking to yourself as a loan officer, I hate this lady. How am I going to solve all these problems? She's asking for a lot. Well, let's talk about the biggest thing that I've ever seen in my life that amazes me is the UWM differentiator placemat. How many of y'all know what that is? There's not enough hands up, I can tell you that. So whatever your AE's phone number is, you have that on speed dial, you need to text him right now. Hey, the next meeting we need to have is to go over this placemat. And we're gonna go in depth in a second using it. But that is gonna show agents why you're different. It has nothing to do with the FHA loan or VA loan or any of that. And then what about listing lead strategies? Agents aren't expecting you to ask about that. They're not expecting you on the buy side to ask them those questions, but that shows that you want to invest in them. What about co-branding and social media? You know, making those posts, telling those stories, talking about things that you do together. It's like we have to work together and we need each other, but we wear two different jerseys on a different team. CRMs and follow-ups, buyer and listing conversion plans, and then content and social media systems. Every problem that I have, all of you loan officers can solve. So I took the placemat myself as an agent, and I put it in ChatGPT, and it came up with this attractive man named Sean Walter. So he wasn't bad to look at, so I was like, I might as well investigate this. And then came up with the ABC Mortgage Agent Growth System. And it gives me all the problems. Deals falling apart, lead conversion, no consistent follow-up. And then it gives me 5 ways with all of these tools that every one of you that's a part of working with UWM has access to. More accepted offers, winning in competitive markets, loan fallout, and the best one that I like the most is the client experience. Providing the clients a great client experience. How many of you guys are shocked by what this came up with using the placemat? Nobody? This is the way that you solve problems for agents. This is how you become irreplaceable. So you'll get a copy of this in your slide deck. You can go further in depth when you're at your desk. But the other secret weapon you have is letting the #1 lender in the nation be your biggest competitive advantage by bringing agents out to the real estate agent success track. We teach them using AI how to identify their buyer persona, how for you and the agent to create a genuine client experience together. And during that time, you have 100 cheerleaders behind you, telling them why you're great, telling them how you guys can work together. If you do not know how to bring agents out to the success track, you can visit the success track booth, which is outside. There is a new invitation that you can send out, and you can definitely email Sean Washington. But here's some testimonials from Success Track. I probably get 50 DMs after I run a class there. Not only did you change my business, but you changed my life. It gives you and that agent time here to get a marketing plan together, to get content for social media together. We give you the entire blueprint. We give you like 5 slide decks when you leave. So if you need help inviting agents out or don't know what to say, you can definitely use the testimonials that I provided you here. And remember when we talked about step 3, when you were supposed to ask them about their goals? This is where all your conversations pay off. They told you they wanted more deals. They told you they wanted more listings. Maybe the single mom said, hey, I want to do more transactions, but I want to spend and you pulled out your toolbox, matched every single problem that they had to a solution, and showed them that you were listening. This separates you from every other lender. You are the hero that got them to their goal. You identified what success looked like for them. Success doesn't look the same for everybody. My success is not going to be the next agent's success. You heard what they said, you built them a path, you created a custom value proposition for them, and then you helped them achieve it. This is where you became a replacement. They're going to close more deals, they may even win more listings. You gave them a predictable business. People are not sitting there every day in our industry getting a paycheck on Friday. So because you're working together as a team, they feel like, okay, great, let's get this pipeline flowing, let's work together, and now my income's a little bit more predictable. This is the 4-week blueprint that we work on with loan officers in our course. Every single Monday, we do a live call. You can join at any point in time. Week 1, we identify what's slowing your growth. We uncover all the hidden inefficiencies, your businesses, your systems, your processes. Week 2, we look at your lead flow. Where are your deals being lost? Let's turn existing contacts into opportunities. Let's look at lead generation sources. Week 3, we go over value and positioning. Become the lender that agents choose. We also take a look at building referral-driven partnerships and creating the value propositions for each agent using AI, which we can show you how to do in about 2 minutes. And week 4 is execute. We turn all the strategies into closed deals. We evaluate your KPIs, and we track what's working and what's not. And this is why most LOs stay stuck. You got 50 agents sending you 1 loan every single month. Every time I look at a loan officer's business, this is what it looks like. You're overworked, you're exhausted. Why would you not get 5 to 6 agents that are each doing 4 to 5 deals a month, really focus on those partnerships, and do 25 transactions a month and 300 deals a year? Makes no sense to me. The deeper the relationship, you become impossible to replace. It's not about more agents. I have the same conversation with mortgage brokers, more LOs. Why? So you can bring them into a broken ecosystem? Let's clean up your business first, figure out what's working for the LOs you have, get them trained, and then go recruit more. Same thing with LOs that want to work with more agents. Why? You're not even working with the ones you got. So it's about better partnerships. 5 to 6 deep partnerships, faster closings, 10 times more the referral partner. You change an agent's life, they're telling all their friends. So you can scan this QR code, get a full copy of my slide deck. We're gonna offer you a free webinar on Monday at 12 o'clock, and I'm gonna build the value proposition with you live using ChatGPT. When you scan the QR code, it's gonna ask you your name, it's gonna ask you your social security number, I'm just joking. It's gonna ask you if you wanna join the webinar or not. Agents in the room, we're gonna do listings at 6:30. You can scan this as well, get the slide deck, get invited to the webinar. Before I leave the stage though, I gotta say a couple things. Because I came out talking about winning as a team, and I need to thank my team. I wouldn't be on this stage today if Randy Gamo had not introduced me to UWM. Taylor, Corey, Janice, and Courtney made all of my slide decks and did way too many damn edits. And Sean Washington has been my partner in crime and has changed me as a human and in my business. And being at UWM and working out of some of these offices and watching the culture Matt has built here has empowered me to believe way more in myself than I ever did. So I want you guys to know, you don't win by doing more loans. You win by building better agents. Go attract, go impact, go elevate, and go fucking win.